Yeah, so the results were pretty surprising. 16 booked meetings in just a few days. From this, I can just make more than any 9 to 5 job without having basically a degree. That's something I don't have. I'm currently 19. I'm from Portugal, just like you. The niche I'm in, I'm targeting med spas and clinics, and that's pretty much what I'm doing as of now.
Nice, nice. You mentioned you're Portuguese and you're um, 19 now. You
Correct.
just turned
Just turned 19.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you finish school? How was that like school life?
Yeah.
Uh,
So I finished school around 6 months ago now. Life at school, to be honest, I haven't had any problems in my life regarding school. I always had good grades, but was just not a path that I was looking to pursue. With my colleagues, all that stuff, I always felt like I was kind of different from them, and I started to verify that more at the end of high school as I started my business and I started doing kind of different things. But my thoughts on school are really that it was not for me. It could be for some of the people watching these, but I really think that starting a business and starting an SMMA could be a great opportunity in 2024 for sure. So that's
yeah.
what I
Why
do.
do you think that? What made you want to start SMMA?
Yeah, so what made me start SMMA? So just to give you a little background, I've tried other businesses in the past. I've tried drop shipping with not major success. I've tried an AI thing with a friend as well. That's inside your program. And from there, what I basically did, and after not achieving financial freedom, was starting the SMMA. And I kind of did that, of course, by seeing guys like you winning in life, and that's something I really wanted to do. But majorly because it gives you a lot of foundation. So what happens is you'll learn in SMMA, you can learn sales, you can learn service delivery, team management. So you can learn a bunch of stuff. That's for initiation. I think that's something you don't learn in any other online business. So I think it's actually the right path.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I completely agree with you. How was your journey like when you started? Obviously, you started very, very recently.
Yeah.
Um, how was it like when you very, very first started?
Yeah. So when I first started, you mean my SMMA or just in general?
Yeah,
Yeah.
your agency.
So for my agency and for my SMMA, what I've done months ago was that I started by joining a program, right? So another program. To be honest with you, it was very expensive, but I didn't see the desired results. It was a big program. I'm not gonna mention which program it is, but people were not, let's say, it was not so personalized as yours. So, and that's exactly what made me find success was basically looking for another options, and that's when I came across you and joined your program, and that's what has really helped me achieve what I've achieved so far.
Yeah, yeah. What about when running your agency itself? Like, what was your biggest challenges, let's say? What did you struggle with the most?
Yeah, so what I struggled with the most, of course, as I have a little bit of an accent, I'm from a different time zone, was kind of finding times to have basically calls with other people. And as I was finishing school, all that stuff, it was kind of difficult for me. But now what I'm currently doing is, as I only have an agency and that's what I do full time, I do have more time. Still kind of difficult when it comes to basically the accent itself. But as I'm learning through you, I'm getting a lot of sales skills. I'm acquiring those, and that's definitely helping me scale my agency for sure. But that was my major problem. Problem was sales, especially in English.
Yeah, yeah. So now that you're taking a lot of sales calls, like how much outreach did it take? Because a lot of people, you know, messaging all the time saying, "Hey, I'm sending out messages, I'm calling people, but it's not leading to anything." So how much did you actually need to send in order to start seeing calls, sales calls, etc.?
Yeah. So what I've done in order to acquire my clients and to basically get a good amount of sales calls was sending 200 DMs a day. In the past, I was sending 200 IG DMs a day. Now it's the SMS. I've done cold calls. I've done a bunch of stuff. And I think it really relies on the volume that you need to have in order to acquire success. Because probably most of the people that were saying that to you, they're just doing 20 calls a day or even not even that. So I think that's really the biggest factor when it comes to outreach. It's really the volume, and that's going to make you succeed for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And did you struggle with being consistent? Because sending 200 a day doesn't seem that hard, but I know how it feels like because I started my own agency as well. So was it hard to stay consistent and disciplined?
Yeah, to be honest with you, not exactly at that point. I was sending the 200 a day. So for those who don't know, you can basically only send around 50 per account. So I had four Instagram accounts where I was sending the DMs through. I would start around basically 2 p.m. Our time. So it's UK time. So it's 5 hours basically ahead of USA. And I started at that time. It'll take me around 1 hour each to complete the 200 because I try to send more personalized messages, and also I did the follow-ups with the previous people. So I did not struggle with being consistent, asking to your question, but of course it was kind of difficult to basically keep up with those numbers, considering I still had to focus on other stuff.
At any point during those 4 months, did any thought about quitting ever occur?
No, never. To be honest with
Why
you, never.
not?
I know most people do think about that. I've never did, of course. There were times I felt kind of down. That's normal on your path, but I didn't, because at the end of the day, I do know what I want to achieve. I do know what I need to do in order to achieve that. And of course, I think about my family and helping them. And 100% keeping up with things I was doing was the right decision so far. And I know it will be also the right decisions in the future me, for the future me in this case.
Mhm. So how come in your other businesses, like for example, drop shipping,
Mhm.
you gave that up, but you're not giving up SMMA?
Yeah, so the thing was, I was kind of off in a tug situation at that point, so I didn't have much money, and the money I made, it was kind of to go through expenses and all that stuff. So that could be probably the major reason why. But I'd say on the other end, other reason could be that I didn't feel dropshipping was the business to actually get the foundations, as I mentioned before, and that's something SMMA does have. In dropshipping, you're kind of like uh, just in your computer, not seeing anyone. In SMMA, that's true. You also do that, but you have more. It's more interactive. So you talk with people on sales calls. You have to manage a team, and on with drop shipping, I think you can just be behind your screen and not communicate a lot. And I think that's important to succeed in life in business, and that's something I wanted to develop.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you joined the program, I think a month ago, was it?
It was around 2 months ago, probably. It was around October.
Two
It's
months
around.
ago. And when we first started working together, we set up an automation for outreach. And what happened then?
Yeah, so the results were pretty surprising because, as I mentioned, the previous program I was in, through those methods, of course, I have to always rely on me and not put any blame into anyone. But in that program, the methods were not working so well. But what we did together was set up an SMS campaign. It worked very well. I got, I think, 16 booked meetings in just a few days, which is incredible for me. I wasn't expecting to achieve those results. And of course, it helped me a lot just from learning within those sales calls, signing clients. And that has been a great experience so far, 100%. And that's a great method that I'd recommend, at least for my niche.
Yeah. And now that you have sales meetings, you're taking meetings, have you closed any clients?
Yes, 100%. And that helped me a lot. That helped me a lot just with service delivery. You have the calls within your program that also help a lot. You have your business partner taking care of that, which is amazing. You can learn how to get automations in place within Qual level. You can learn how to do the funnels, the forms, set up the ads itself. So it has been a great help so far, both signing clients and actually delivering from them.
Hmm. I have a kind of an off-topic question. How
Mhm.
would you feel about stopping your agency now and working a 9 to 5 job?
I'll never do it.
Why not?
Because at the moment, I from this I can just make more than any 9 to 5 job without having basically a degree. That's something I don't have. So I'll never do it. 100%.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And since you've closed your clients and you've seen some success in your agency, which is great. Have you bought anything? Are you into buying things, or have you traveled anywhere, for example?
Yeah, I sure did. So about a week ago. We came back from Spain, Marbella. It was a great experience. I was there with you and other agency owners, so that's something that was really good for me. I think I grew as a person for sure, being around other entrepreneurs. So that was a very good experience. But when it comes to the buying, of course, we spent a lot of money in some stuff. Just the lifestyle there was a bit expensive. But overall, I do not spend money in much stuff. I do like watches, all that kinds of stuff. Of course, uh, I like some of those, but not really. The goal is really just helping family and go from there, basically.
Yeah. Talking about family, what does your family think about you pursuing starting your own business, starting an agency, rather than, let's say, for example, going to university and pursuing a degree and then working a job?
Yeah, so of course at first, and just like what happens with many people, parents they do not agree with it. They of course they get mad at you. The environment itself at home it gets very dangerous to be in as they do not think the same as you. But I, at the end of the day, I do think that's normal as they grew on basically a different generation, and we kind of need to understand that. And instead of just getting mad at them back, I think we should just sit, have a talk, and explain to them what our visions are. But more than that, it's not only talking; it's actually doing. So when I was talking a lot, like for example in 2022, I used to do all that self improvement stuff that I keep doing. It's basically waking up early, going to the gym, cold showers, no fap, all that stuff that you can imagine. That's something I've done and I still do, but that's not enough. They have to see the results. They have to see basically the money coming in. Okay, but the most important thing, I think it's really, and what makes them change their mind is when they see you working on something specific, right? So when I actually started working on a specific project, of course, I did the other project before, but with not so much success. But when I started the agency and started having success, getting money into my bank account, was when they actually started thinking that it could be something that's actually worth it, that I'm doing something with my life. And as mentioned, that's actually when they started changing their mindset and just letting me be me. That's basically it.
Yeah, I like that. Let's say a beginner is watching this video right now, right?
Yeah.
And they're looking at you. You were recently a beginner, and now you pretty much have all the foundation down. You're starting to get clients. You're starting to scale. What would you say to this beginner, or what advice would you give to this beginner?
Yeah, so I cannot lie to them. It will be very difficult, especially depending on your environment. So if which is probably the case, your audience is probably people that are around our ages too, people that are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever. And those people they're probably around colleagues that they are on university, they just get drunk all the time, they just want to play video games, whatever it is, just watch all that crappy stuff on TikTok and whatever. So it can be difficult to get started, especially having those people pushing you back. But you have to be stronger and thinking about basically what's your purpose and what's your main reason to actually start this kind of stuff. In my case, it was to help my family, help my mom, and out of that. But there's people that have other reasons. So I think you gotta find your reason and basically go from there. That's what will basically push you up and make you not give up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's say that this beginner is thinking about starting an agency, and
Yeah.
they want to fast track. They want a coach who will be there to help them to reach their goal, right? Let's say
Yeah.
they want to start working with us. They want to start their own business, their own agency, but they're a little bit scared on, they're not sure whether to take action or not. What would you say to someone who's watching this, considering booking a call with us, potentially see if we can work together? What would you tell them?
I think they definitely should. I'm the living proof. But more important than that is really that most people, and that happened to me in the past as well, when they start something, and that could be the case, for example, with the AI business I told you about. They do this stuff, but they take so long to do this stuff because they do not have anything pushing them forward, and this not basically relies on your basically on your reason why, as I was mentioning before, but more on what you have to do. And if you're not committed enough, which could be the case, you're not going to do anything. But when you're committed basically into a program and you're in an environment that people actually do the same as you, they push you forward, that could be very beneficial. So I definitely think they should book a call with you and at least see what you have to offer, because for me it turned out pretty well, and it's something I can't recommend enough. 100%.
Yeah. When we first met, you mentioned that you struggled a lot because your circle in real life wasn't up to your level in terms of mindset, vision, what they wanted to do in life. How did being in a community full of agency owners who had like-minded mentalities help you or benefit you in any way?
Yeah, it has benefited me a lot, because especially not only if they are entrepreneurs, but specifically the agency, as that's what I'm doing. It's very good to have other people that basically they have solutions for my problems, so I can learn from them before having those problems. So that's actually like it cuts the track a bit, and it makes things a little bit faster, which is great. And just that the type of stuff, when you have a question, you can always ask either you, the other coaches inside the program, you can ask the other people inside the program, basically the students. They're pretty open as well. It's a very friendly community. So I think it actually helped me a lot, making things faster, having people around me that actually helped me, and that turned out well.
And eventually, meeting all these people, we all got together in a house in Marbella,
Yeah.
and we all stayed there for a month and just grinded and partied and worked. And how was that like?
Yeah. So that was a great experience. As I mentioned before, I learned a lot. I grew as a person. Of course, being around with you and other people that were in there that were more successful than me, it was a great lesson. It made me level up in many levels, just business wise. Now that I'm back, it made me think things that I gotta change, that things that I gotta improve inside my business. So when it comes to that, it was pretty cool, and just being around you, because after all, you became a friend of mine, and one of the people that I like to call friends. I don't know that to many people, and especially the fact that you have the mindset, and you're the type of people that I want to have around. And I think if if people want to have people like you around, joining the program could be the solution if they do not have anyone in real life, because we have this thing called the internet that's pretty good when it comes to that. Because if you do not have that environment in real life, you could surround yourself seeing people such as whoever you like, but it could be Andrew Tate, it could be Luke Belmer, it could be Arturo, whichever it is, whoever it is. It could help you level up your mindset and make something out of your life for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you have any finishing off advice for whoever's watching this?
Yeah, I definitely do. The main advice I do have for other people watching this is mainly do not basically rely yourself on others. So just do your own path. Even if you see your colleagues taking other paths, you see your parents saying you not to do that. Of course, you should respect them and listen to what I have to say to you. But I think you always should think by yourself, because when you're 8 years old, nothing of this is going to matter if you went to university, wherever it is. It will be the experiences and you're learning and becoming a better person. It doesn't matter if you have, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter if you have $100 million. It's the person you have to become to have those $100 million. So I think uh, basically coming into this journey, it's something I really recommend. It's really my message to people watching. You should try and not basically not never give up. That's what I'd say.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I love it. Do you want to shout out your YouTube, Instagram, whatever you want to plug?
Yeah, people can I'm not really to YouTube. I might start at the future, but it's just my name, Martin Nascimento, and my Instagram it's underscore Martin 2004. It's very simple. I do not post much in there, but if any agency owners or entrepreneurs want to connect, they can shoot me a DM in there, and we can go from there for sure. Thank you.
Awesome. I'll link all your socials down in the description.